Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on 6 p.m. Prime. I'm Akshata Nandagopal, getting you all the top stories of the day. We're focusing particularly on the fallout of the human sacrifice horrors that have come to light in Kerala. It's rocked the state, it's rocked the nation. In Kerala, we've seen protests, we've seen demands coming in from the opposition, saying that the government must immediately bring in a legislation to stop this kind of tantric activity, something that has in fact increased in Kerala of late. We're going to be talking about that story and much, much more. As always, the headlines first. AAP's Gujarat chief detained in Delhi from the Women's Panel office. Kejriwal calls Gopal Italia's detention an insult to Gujarat's Patel community. Two-judge bench delivers split verdict in hijab case. Justice Gupta bats for ban, Justice Dhulia bats for freedom of choice. Case referred now to a larger bench. Karnataka government says hijab ban will continue for now. ED files charge sheet against Rana Ayub. Rana Ayub accused of money laundering. ED charge sheet says she submitted fake bills, received foreign funds without FCRA known. Sourav Ganguly makes his exit from the BCCI official, says he's ready to move on to bigger things. IMF lauds Modi government's digital cash transfer scheme, calls it a logistical marvel, helping millions of poor in India. And after incessant rain, flood fury wreaks havoc from Andhra to Sikkim. Cities and towns inundated. Rescue operations on in several areas. Now, the Kerala occult murders have sent shockwaves across the country. The three accused, the tantric Mohammed Shafi, Bhagwal Singh, his wife Leila, have all been sent to 12 days in police custody. The Kerala Congress is now demanding that there be a law that's put in place, a legislation be brought to stop this kind of tantric practices. Let's round up all the latest that's come in on this human sacrifice horror from Kerala.
Black magic, satanic rituals, occult murders for gaining wealth. Kerala's blood-curdling double human sacrifice has shocked the country. The three accused, Mohammed Shafi, Bhagwal Singh and his wife Leila, have been sent to 12 days police custody after being produced in court. The shocking case sparked massive protest. The Mahila Morcha of the BJP took to the streets. In Pathanamthitta, Congress leader Ramesh Chennithala pitched for a law against such heinous crimes.
I feel that the government of Kerala should come out with a legislation. I request the state government to come out with a very strong legislation so that this kind of activities can be curbed.
Human rights activists have demanded strictest action against the culprits.
ऐसे घिनौनी प्रवृत्ति के लोग भी एग्जिस्ट करते हैं जो अभी भी बलि देने में विश्वास रखते हैं और उनका मांस भी सेवन करते हैं। तो मुझे लगता है कि इससे जघन्य तो हमने कभी भी नहीं सुना और हमें लगता है इनके ऊपर तो कड़ी से कड़ी कार्रवाई की, इनको तो फांसी की सजा होनी चाहिए।
And just when the case is unfolding, another shocking incident has come to light. In Pathanamthitta, where black magic was reportedly being used on children, one of them fell unconscious during the procedure. The residents protested against the incident and complained that the tantric threatens by hurling curses if anybody opposes her. The tantric has since been arrested. With Shibi Molkeji in Kerala, Bureau Report, India Today.
Shibi Mol, who's been reporting and getting us all the latest updates from the ground, joins us live this evening. Shibi Mol, there's been one more incident that's been reported in Pathanamthitta that led to all of this outrage. There's protests that have been reported in several parts of Kerala. Several locals are saying that the government must now intervene. Is there any sort of thought within the government of considering some sort of a legislation, particularly because tantric activities are popular in Kerala?
Well, Akshita, as of now, we've just heard from ministers saying that, this is not acceptable and strict action will be taken, especially after this video of this woman tantric trying to use black magic on children, trying to help in the context of trying to help them improve in their studies and all this. So today we heard Minister Veena George saying that, strict action will be taken. Using children is not something that can be accepted at any cost. So we will be looking into this seriously, but on the context of legislation, we have not heard anything from anybody yet, and from the government side yet. But yes, they promised strict action. In fact, after the human sacrifice case that emerged in the last 2 days, more and more cases like today what we saw has been emerging. Now the police has also, all the 3 accused in the human sacrifice case has been sent to 12 days police custody, and the police has put out certain angles that they will be investigating, which includes whether there was any other purpose other than the human sacrifice behind the murder of these 2 women. They will be examining the cannibalism angle also. And also they said that they will also investigate, especially in Pathanamthitta, the missing cases of women in the last few years. How many women were missing? Did they have any connection regarding this? Is something they will be, examining. And all the missing cases in the state will also be looked after, is what the police sources are saying, because they have to.
Right. So basically, Shibi, from what you're telling us, right now authorities are focused on the investigation into this particular case. They will consider future course of action also in the coming days. But right now, all 3 accused have been remanded to police custody. Their questioning, their interrogation will be crucial, particularly because that angle of cannibalism is something everyone's talking about, which the police hasn't ruled out. They're saying that we will investigate to find out if there was an angle of cannibalism in this case or not. The main accused in this case, thanks Shibi for joining us with those details. The main accused in this case, 3 of them, out of which the agent, Mohammed Shafi, has been described as a pervert, as a psychopath by the Kerala police. Now, here's the information we have about Shafi. Now, he regularly searched Facebook for victims. He used social media as a tool to find victims because he wanted to commit this kind of a murder, had this plan in his head for many, many years. What we understand from the police is that this man created a fake profile as a self-proclaimed tantric and then looked out for someone who was devoutly religious who would fall for his ploy. And then he posed as a woman, reportedly had a profile on Facebook called Sri Devi, and honey-trapped the accused Baghaval Singh and his wife Laila Baghaval Singh. Mohammed Shafi essentially promised the accused couple that if they went ahead with these human sacrifices, they'd achieve a lot of wealth, they'd be extremely prosperous in life, and whatever financial struggles they have, it will end. The couple were known to be extremely religious. Now, they were coerced to go ahead for this human sacrifice of both the victims, Padma as well as Rosalind, because they were told they'll receive wealth. Now, how did Shafi lure the victims? He knew both the women. He urged them to come together, offering them money, saying that you will have to, in fact, be a part of a blue film. And so they came to, in fact, the couple's home where he orchestrated these murders, essentially directed them on how to go about it. As I mentioned, Shafi, by the police, has been labelled as a sexual predator, and that he did this for no reason at all, just for sadistic pleasure. This isn't the only case that he's been linked to. He's also been accused in several other criminal cases, including a rape case, the rape of a 75-year-old woman, for which, in fact, Shafi was under the scanner. In all, there have been 8 cases that have been registered against this man as an accused. And these are different criminal cases, including the rape case that I told you about. All right, let's take this across to Mr. Sanal Edamaraku, who is the president of the Rationalist International. Mr. Edamaraku, thank you for taking the time out and joining us here on India Today. You're from the state of Kerala, sir. So explain to us, what is the belief system like in Kerala? Because very often people say that these kind of tantric activities, these beliefs, is very common in Kerala.
Speaker is what I speak.
Mr. Edmarco, can you hear me? All right, not sure if he's with us. We'll reconnect with him. Just give me a couple of minutes as we establish that particular connection. But let me round up for you all that we know about this case so far. Extremely disturbing graphic details that have emerged in this particular tale that's emerged from Kerala, where two women were abducted. They were killed in the most horrifying manner. Their bodies chopped off, allegedly cooked and eaten, all because this accused couple wanted to become rich. They did so at the behest of a tantric, a self-proclaimed tantric at that. You've got superstition, perversion, and also cannibalism. That's an angle that the police are still looking into. But the details that have emerged are truly, truly horrifying, to say the least. The kind of things that we've seen perhaps in books and in crime thrillers has essentially come alive in Kerala.
This is Kerala's House of Horrors. Located in Pathanamthitta, this is where Bhagaval Singh and his wife Leila carried out the human sacrifice of two women, Padma and Rosalind, all at the behest of a self-proclaimed tantric, Shafi. The sinister occult killings were planned in 2020 when Shafi, impersonating as Sridevi, lured Bhagaval and asked him to meet the tantric. The tantric Shafi himself then promised to make Bhagaval and his family rich. All they had to do was perform human sacrifice. It was in June this year that Rosalind was taken to the couple's house in Pathanamthitta. She was brought on the pretext of acting in porn films and was offered 10 lakh rupees. When she reached Bhagaval and Leila's house, her hands and legs were tied to a bed. She was told it was a part of porn film shoot. Leila then inserted a knife into Rosalind's private part and slit her throat. Leila's husband, Bhagaval, then cut off her breasts. The couple, along with Shafi, then chopped Rosalind's body into pieces and buried them in a hole.
Our main detection efforts focus കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് CCTV footage ആണ്. എലംകുളം ഭാഗത്ത് നിന്നാണ് ഈ സ്ത്രീ മിസ്സിംഗ് ആയത്. ഈ CCTV footage and the Scorpio which was detected and the ownership of the Scorpio. It led to the first accused, Mr. Shafi alias Rashid.
A month after Rosalind's murder, Bhagaval and Leila contacted Shafi again. They asked him when will they get the wealth. This time, the tantric told the couple that one more sacrifice was needed. So, Padma was brought in. This is her walking towards Bhagaval and Leila's house the day she was murdered. Padma was lured on the pretext of sex work. She was promised 15,000 rupees. She was then strangulated with a plastic rope. Shafi then inserted a knife in Padma's private parts and slit her throat. Her body was then chopped into 56 pieces.
He is a sexual pervert. Sexual pervert including sadistic pleasure, causing injury, causing harm, even death. Sexual pervert എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ അതാണ് ഒരു sadistic ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു pleasure എടുക്കുന്ന ആളാണ്. ആ sadistic pleasureന് വേണ്ടി എന്ത് സ്റ്റോറി വേണമെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടാക്കും, ആരെ വേണമെങ്കിലും ഇയാൾ ട്രാപ്പ് ചെയ്യും.
The horror didn't just end there. Bhagaval, Leila and Shafi would sprinkle the blood of the victims inside the house. The police are probing cannibalism allegations too. It is reported that the couple cooked the victims' body parts at the instruction of the tantric.
അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്, പക്ഷെ എവിഡൻസ് നമ്മൾ എടുക്കാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുകയാണ്. കാരണം അത് ആദ്യത്തെ കാലടി ഇൻസിഡന്റിൽ അങ്ങനെ സംഭവിക്കാൻ സാധ്യത ഉണ്ട്. അതിന്റെ ഒരു ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്, പക്ഷേ വി ഡോണ്ട് ഹാവ് എനി എവിഡൻസ്. വി ഹാവ് ടു ഡു DNA അനാലിസിസ് ഫോർ ദാറ്റ്.
Leila has told the police that she is depressed and has been under medication. But what explains such depravity?
It was here where Shafi, Bhagaval Singh and Leila carried out the occult killings. The sensational double murder has not just stunned Kerala but the entire country. All three accused has now been sent to judicial custody till October 26. Bhagwal Singh and Leila will now be in jail. With video journalist Tinku Rajashekar, Shivimol KG for India Today from Pathanamthitta.
All right, let's take this across now to Mr. Sanal Edamaraku, President of the Rationalist International, who's joining us this evening. Mr. Edamaraku, thank you for speaking to us here on India Today. You're from Kerala, sir. So explain to us, are these kind of, beliefs in tantric activities common in the state among the people?
Yeah, at one side, Kerala is very progressive, but on the other side, we have all kinds of occult beliefs very popular in Kerala, and the newspapers and some of the magazines advertise these kind of psychics and occults and invite people for all the solutions. And this is not at all stopped. In Kerala, there have been an effort to make a law, an anti-superstition law, and a bill was prepared, as a private bill was prepared, but it's in the cold storage. And these kind of advertisements are so popular and practices are going on everywhere, and there is no effort from the state side to stop this. This is not a question of the present, but in Kerala, the kind of beliefs that are reaching to this stage have been existing for a long time, and there should be some effort to interfere into the whole effort of promoting it and encouraging it through newspaper advertisements or now by social media. Especially in this case, we have seen that the whole thing was campaigned through a Facebook post, and people were invited, for your welfare, contact us. There is no kind of monitoring about these kind of things. There is no way that we can stop it. So an immediate interference to enact the anti-superstition law is the most important thing at this moment.
So you believe that the onus is also, Mr. Edamaraku, on the government to ensure that some sort of a legislation is brought about to stop these kind of practices, because the belief is very, very strong in Kerala.
Yeah, the belief is there. A lot of people believe in these kind of magical results with tantra or shamans, and all these kind of beliefs are there. Like in any other state, the whole problem is, there should be a monitoring. There are people who are believing, who are indoctrinated, who are vulnerable. But there are people who are selling these kind of products, and they are easily reaching these people. And that's the point where we have to have an interference from the state to stop it. It's at one side we need public education, we need a kind of a movement that is going on, which is very active in Kerala. Kerala has a very active rationalist movement, but on the side of the state, we need support that law and enactment of this law should come into real effect.
You highlighted at the very beginning the contrast that everyone's been speaking about in Kerala, about the state being so progressive with such a high literacy rate. And despite that, you see these kind of incidents and so much of strong beliefs. Where does this come from? What is the origin of this kind of belief, Mr. Edamaraku? And if you could share some of your personal experiences of what kind of faith these people really have in these practices.
There are three different patterns of occult belief. And many people think that this is only for thinking that they get welfare or they get money, that they do black magic. In fact, there are three varieties of black magic. One is Vashikaran, which is trying to attract the other people. The other is destruction of your enemy. Third is looking for welfare. All the three patterns are popular, and these are getting more and more indoctrinated into children, because there are a lot of stories around, there are a lot of legends around, but we speak about scientific temperament. There is no way that this kind of indoctrination can be stopped at this moment. So therefore, an anti-superstition law at one side and strict enactment of stopping all these superstitions and religious education in the schools, that's what is important. This has a long root of tradition of Tantra tradition in Kerala. Whole of South India has a big tradition of Tantra. 5 months back, there was another sacrifice. A mother has been sacrificing a girl, and and in Andhra Pradesh, you know that some months back, a mother has killed another 2 children. All these kind of practices are very prevalent in southern part of India.
Okay, and let's hope that there is some sort of awareness that's spread from the administration, from all means, using social media, as you pointed out, as well as a tool. Thank you so much, Mr. Edamaraku, for taking the time out and joining us here on India Today. As we in fact focus on what's happening in Kerala, let's cut across to more breaking news that's coming in. Now, with this human sacrifice horror that's come to light, there are more incidents of this tantric activities that's become the big talking point now. Here's a story from Gujarat, where a man from a village who believed that his 14-year-old daughter was possessed killed her while performing black magic. Police say that this incident took place recently in the Dhava village in Gir Somnath district, when a man, Bhavesh Akbari, who believed that his daughter was possessed by a ghost, decided to go ahead and perform an exorcism. He came to the village 6 months ago from Surat along with his brother, performed some occult rituals on his teenage daughter, made her wear old clothes, then took her out to a field. The police say that the accused actually tied a stick to her hair and made her stand between two chairs. They kept her hungry and thirsty for a long time. She succumbed to this torture. Horror stories that are really coming in from across the nation that really highlights for you how deep-rooted this problem is, and particularly in rural parts of the country.
He was doubtful कि इसको उसकी जो लड़की है उसको कुछ कोई प्रॉब्लम है और उसको वो क्लियर करना चाह रहा था. उसकी वजह से उसने टॉर्चर किया और उसमें लड़की को मार दिया उसने. अभी 2 आरोपी पकड़ा है और बाकी आगे अभी जो भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन में पूरा प्रूफ मिलेंगे उस हिसाब से आरोपी पकड़ेंगे. हथियार हमें नहीं मिला है, लकड़ी वगैरह का यूज हुआ है वही हमने कब्जे किया. पूजा सामग्री.
All right, let's cut across to more breaking news that's coming in. Journalist Rana Ayub has been charge sheeted by the Enforcement Directorate. She's now released a statement over the ED action. Rana has said that it's noteworthy that the ED had provisionally attached my bank account funds, including my professional income, but they were stayed by the Delhi High Court. The funds raised by me for COVID support were raised and used with the sole aim of helping people in dire need. All right, we're cutting across to more breaking news that's coming in. Gujarat AAP chief Gopal Italia, after being briefly detained, is speaking live.
उसने बड़ी एरोगेंसी से कोई जवाब नहीं दिया और मेरी तौर देखते हुए बोला कि बहुत ही बदतमीज हो तुम, क्या औकात है तुम्हारी और क्या हैसियत है तुम्हारी. मुझे ये कहा गया, मैं शॉक हो गया कि ये क्या भाषा है, ये किस टाइप का इन्वेस्टिगेशन है, ये किस चीज के लिए मुझे इस कमरे में इस ऑफिस में बुलाया गया. मैं शॉक हो गया. मैं कुछ नहीं बोला क्योंकि वो चेयर पे बैठी है. चेयर की रिस्पेक्ट करना सिटीजन होने के नाते मेरा फर्ज बनता था. मैं सुनता रह गया. मुझे पूछा गया कि ये कौन लोग हैं जो बाहर आए हैं, क्यों आए इतने लोग, और मुझे बड़े भद्दे तरीके से, बड़ी घटिया तरीके से ट्रीट किया गया 2 मिनट के लिए. बहुत डांटा गया, बहुत धमकाया गया. ये कर दिया जाएगा, पुलिस के हवाले कर दूंगी, तुम्हारे ऊपर FIR करवा दूंगी, जेल में भर देंगे, क्या समझते हो अपने आप को, औकात क्या है तुम्हारी. इस टाइप की बातें खुद मैडम ने अपने चैम्बर में मुझे बताई. मैं सिर्फ सुनता रहा. मैं सुन था, मैं शॉक था, क्या बोलूं क्या नहीं बोलूं. फिर मैं अपने आप से उस कमरे के बाहर निकल गया और मैं अपने वकील जो ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे बैठे थे उनसे मैं मिला और उनको कहा कि मैडम ने मेरे साथ इस तरीके का बर्ताव किया है. ना वो मेरा स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं, ना जिस चीज के लिए मुझे समन किया गया था उस चीज को लेकर कोई बात कर रहे. बस मुझे गालियां दे रहे, धमका रहे. इतनी देर में कमीशन की ओर से पुलिस को बुला लिया गया. फिर पुलिस की ओर इनकी क्या बातचीत हुई मुझे तो कोई पता नहीं है. लेकिन फिर मुझे पुलिस की मौजूदगी में बताया गया कि ऊपर आपको बैठना है. कुछ 8-10 लोग सिविल कपड़ों में थे. वो क्या थे, किस ऑफिशियल कैपेसिटी से वहां थे, क्या उनका कोई पद था, क्या वो कोई ऑथोराइज पर्सन थे, मुझे कुछ नहीं पता है. कोई एक लड़की थी जो लगातार मोबाइल से एक वीडियो ले रही थी. जब मैंने पूछा कि ये वीडियो ऑफिशियल है, मुझे बताया गया कि हाँ ये ऑफिशियल रिकॉर्डिंग हो रहा है. मैंने कहा कि इसका मुझे कॉपी चाहिएगा क्योंकि ऑफिशियल है तो मेरा अधिकार बनता है कि मैं जो कुछ आपके सामने बोल रहा हूं और जो रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है वो सारा मुझे मिलना चाहिए. फिर सारे लोग मिलके मुझे धमकाने लगे, डराने लगे कि क्या हो गया, क्या नहीं हो गया, क्या चीज है क्या नहीं है. कुल मिलाकर अगर आप देखेंगे तो इस पूरे वाकया में कहीं पर भी नोटिस को लेकर के NCW का कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं था. उनका इंटरेस्ट था मुझे धमकाने में, मुझे डराने में, मुझे बद्दी तरीके से गालियां देने में उनका इंटरेस्ट था. और अंत में जब उनका ये इंटरेस्ट खत्म हो गया फिर पुलिस को बोल दिया कि उसको उठा के ले जाओ, थाने में रख दो. ये क्यों हो रहा है? ये सारा जो आज पूरा दिन जो घटनाक्रम हुआ है, ये इसलिए हुआ है कि गुजरात में चुनाव आ रहे हैं। इस चुनाव में पाटीदार समाज बीजेपी के खिलाफ खड़ा हो चुका है। पाटीदार समाज आम आदमी पार्टी के समर्थन में खुल के बाहर आ रहा है। चूंकि बीजेपी पार्टी गुजरात में पाटीदारों से नफरत करती है, पाटीदारों से बहुत चिढ़ती है। पिछले कुछ साल पहले पाटीदारों के 14 युवाओं पर बीजेपी की सरकार ने गोलियां चलवाई थी और 14 युवाओं को उसने एक तरीके से मर्डर कर दिया था। बाकी जो बच गए उनके ऊपर हजारों फर्जी मुकदमे लगा के हजारों युवाओं को जेल में बंद कर दिया था, उनका करियर खराब कर दिया था। फिर बीजेपी को लगा कि कितनों को गोलियां मार दी, कितनों को जेल में भर दिया, तब भी ये पाटीदारों में से आने वाला गोपाल इटालिया कैसे बच गया, कैसे बच के आगे निकल गया। ये साधारण सा पाटीदार युवान कैसे किसी पार्टी का प्रदेश अध्यक्ष बन गया, कैसे ये युवान बीजेपी को चैलेंज कर रहा है। इसको हैरान करो, इसको परेशान करो, इसको सताओ, किसी भी मुकदमे में डालो, इधर उधर कहीं से उसको बदनाम करो। पूरी बीजेपी पार्टी इस वक्त गोपाल इटालिया के पीछे पड़ी हुई है। मैं क्या हूं? मैं कुछ नहीं हूं, एक साधारण सा युवान हूं। मेरी कोई शख्सियत ही नहीं है एक तरीके से अगर आप देखेंगे। लेकिन जब आप ट्विटर पे, सोशल मीडिया पे देखते हैं, बीजेपी के सारे विधायक, सेंटर के मिनिस्टर, पूरा आईटी सेल एक ही छोटे से आदमी के पीछे लगा के रखा है। क्यों? क्योंकि वो लोग पाटीदार समाज से नफरत करते हैं और नफरत में इस हद तक गिर चुके हैं कि गुजरात से मुझे उठाकर ओखला के थाने में बिठा दिया। यहां तक कि मेरे वकील को भी नहीं बताया कि मुझे कहां ले जाया जा रहा है। वकील को किसी और थाने का एड्रेस बताया कि यहां बिठाया है, ले जाया गया कहीं और जगह। कुल मिला के ये जो पूरा घटनाक्रम है, इसमें साफ साफ तौर पे बीजेपी की भ्रष्ट मानसिकता, पाटीदार समाज के खिलाफ की मानसिकता का प्रदर्शन हो रहा है। वो नहीं चाहते हैं कि गुजरात से पाटीदारों के युवा आगे बढ़े, आगे आए, राजनीति में हिस्सा ले, लीडरशिप रोल में आए। वो नहीं चाहते, इसलिए किसी ना किसी तरीके से गुजरात में भी मेरे ऊपर पिछले दिनों में काफी एफआईआर लगाई हुई है। यहां पर भी इन्होंने आज मेरे साथ जो किया वो बताता है कि ये पाटीदारों से चिढ़ते हैं, पाटीदारों को नफरत करते हैं, गोलियां मारते हैं, जेल में भरते हैं, तब भी उनको संतोष नहीं होता है तो अब गुजरात से बाहर बुला के प्रताड़ित करने की कोशिश करते हैं। लेकिन मुझे आज कहना है कि मेरा नाम गोपाल है और मुझे भगवान ने आशीर्वाद दिया है। अब मैं गोपाल हूं और मैं इन कंस की औलाद से डरने वाला नहीं हूं। ये सारी कंस की औलादें अब लगी पड़ी हुई है आम आदमी पार्टी के खिलाफ, पाटीदार समाज के खिलाफ, गोपाल इटालिया के खिलाफ, अरविंद केजरीवाल के खिलाफ। सारे कंस की औलादें एकजुट हो चुकी है। लेकिन हम भी गोपाल है, हम भी ईश्वर की संतान है। इन सारी कंस की औलादों के सामने लड़ेंगे और जीत के दिखाएंगे। थैंक यू।
पुलिस ने आपसे क्या कहा?
पुलिस ने थाने पे ले जाके मेरे से सिर्फ यही कहा कि इन सारी चीजों में क्यों पड़ रहे हो, इतने ताकतवर लोगों से क्यों पंगा ले रहे हो, छोड़ दो ना ये सारी चीजें, इतने परेशान क्यों हो रहे हो। मैंने उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करा कि सर आपके पास जो भी कानूनी कार्रवाई का आदेश हो कार्रवाई करिए, आप मुझे इस तरीके से समझाइए मत। मेरी लड़ाई जो है वो बेईमानों के सामने है, पाटीदार समाज के दुश्मन जो बीजेपी वाले हैं उनके सामने मेरी लड़ाई है। चाहे जो मर्जी मुझे जेल में डाल दे, फांसी पे लगा दे, गोली मार दे या पूरे देश में मेरे खिलाफ मोर्चा निकाले, मैं ये लड़ाई लड़ता रहूंगा।
गोपाल जी, जिस तरह से इस देश में जो हरकतें चल रही है, एक डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री है यहाँ पे, जिस तरह से आप जब अपने इलेक्शन की, अपने पॉपुलरिटी की जंग लड़ रहे हैं, जो इलेक्शन की तरफ से संविधान में हक है, फिर भी ये सब चीजें जो आ रही है, रुकावट की, जेल में डालने की, नफरत की, इसको आप कब रोकेंगे और यह कब तक चलता रहेगा?
ये जो पूरा जो चल रहा है इस देश में अनडेमोक्रेटिक सारा कामकाज, उसको रोकने की तो लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं और लड़ रहे हैं इसलिए बीजेपी।
So the Gujarat AAP chief, the Italia crime conspiracy taking on the BJP, taking on the NCW as well.